Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline. I was making a little update. It's been a while, and some things happening in my life and some other things, and so I have a few subjects I want to talk about. But the first one, this is really interesting. So my last videos, I've discussed, got into my last video, I think, was about the many forms of being transgender over the years, the way that we viewed transitioning in the, say, like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and how it's kind of become now, and how a lot of trans people just identify as non binary. And so I was actually, and my last one, I was just saying that that's why I view things differently, is because my generation is different from the generation that is right now, which is primarily and dominantly non-binary. And so I was on YouTube, and I'm gathering that people can see my comments that I make on other videos and whatnot and things that I like. And so this is so random, but I commented on a video which was for Diablo 2 video game, and they're remastering it and whatnot. And it looks fantastic. And I just made a comment addressing, the video that this one person was doing. Anyway, it's about the game. And so someone writes this comment back, and it's this long, like, thing, like basically just talking massive shit to me. And I'm guessing it's someone who follows me on YouTube and saw that I comment. I don't know, but they popped up, and I mean, to the point where, they were like calling me like a fake influencer and all this stuff, and they were talking about my new videos and how I was talking about non-binary people. So evidently, this person is offended on the way that I've talked about non-binary people, and yeah, so they basically said I was a fake influencer, and the only reason I have any viability is because I pass, which is, anyway. So and then by the end of it, they said, they hope that I get drafted to Syria because I'm definitely like, I guess they were trying to paint me up as being some liberal Democrat, which I'm not. And so I'll go into my politics, which as an adult, like when I was younger, I talked about a lot about economics and so on and so forth. But as an adult, I don't talk about my politics on YouTube. I try to keep it a lot about transitioning. But evidently now it's become like something political. So I've decided to, give my views on it. And I am a very political person. I'm very involved in what's going on. I'm paying a lot of attention. And so this person, since Joe Biden has recently bombed Syria, which I heavily disagree with, and we'll go into how I really dislike liberals and how I really dislike Trump supporters, and we'll go into that in just a minute. But this person was like, thought I was some basic middle of the road liberal Democrat that's just fake and a fake influencer, and it was the most bizarre comment, to the point, and it was long, to the point where and someone even commented, they were like, dude, she's just commenting on a video game post, and it was the most random, like, aggressive, angry sort of thing. So evidently my videos about non-binary people have pissed people off, which, anyway, irrelevant. I don't really give a shit. Like, opinions are opinions, and just because I don't think, to me, I think there's a lot of trending happening when it comes to the trans community, and I think people all just want to identify something. And I think it's a lot bigger picture that people don't really know who they are. So when they read non-binary things or they look into being transgender or something, they latch on because people really want something to identify as. Plus, other people are interested in learning more about it. And all of that boils down to, deep down, I do believe there's a lot of people that it's a phase, that it's a trend, and that's a phase. But I have other videos addressing this topic. So evidently it's pissed people off. So as far as my politics are concerned, I wanted to go into that a bit. And so obviously I'm not a Trump supporter. Like, he's awful in every way. And his supporters and a lot of Republicans, I get it, but let's just go ahead and face the facts. Like, as far as humanity goes, and just American people in general, they're pretty fucking stupid. So I don't expect much from Americans. I'm not American. I'm from South Africa originally, and I moved here when I was younger. And even when I first moved here, I knew that people here weren't that bright. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't know how. This is just stereotypically, like, in general. I know there's a lot of people who aren't like this, but they can't really take care of themselves. The only goal growing up was to be rich, because in this country, being rich is being happy. And if you're not rich, then you're poor and then you're sad. And so that's literally it in the United States. And so that's why I do believe that capitalism is an absolute failure, because someone always has to lose to lift someone up. And it wouldn't work if that wasn't happening. So, and most black people in this country have no chance. They are stuck in a situation where the police are against them. The industrial prison complex is against them because it makes money off of inmates being there, privatized prisons. Our police system is designed to arrest black people and put them in jail. Like, it is a this country has got some really disgusting roots in it. And Trump supporters, and a lot of just white people, because we'll go ahead and say it, most Trump supporters are white. They're usually country. They are, or they're rich. They're either that, because Trump makes the money. He gets some tax deductibles and so on and so forth. So we understand, plain as day, that, and if you don't, then I'm sorry, I can't even converse with you. But Trump supporters and the Republican Party are just not my thing. I get their frustration. A lot of people are working class people, and they're like working on, with their hands and stuff. And yeah, in my opinion, I didn't like Obama either. I think Obama's bombing, his drone stuff, his what he had campaigned on was not the type of president he was. But for some reason, liberals have think he was like some phenomenal president, which he wasn't. Like, he's not even a good person. I mean, we're still in war that George Bush put us in. We're still there. I was in high school when that began. The thing is that these politicians and these people, including Democrats and including Republicans, have no interest in you. They have no interest in helping you or caring for you or pulling you out of a hole, because this is a capitalist country and they are all millionaires. And there's a reason that they're millionaires. And for people to think that Trump wasn't a politician, because he's just like a businessman, politicians and businessmen, the line is so blurred between the two of them that I'd probably say that the only reason people get into politics is to be rich. And that's the goal of being a successful businessman. So, um, politics is business. And if they really cared about you, they would do things. So, right now in the United States, you have Joe Biden as president, which I reluctantly admit I voted for him. I did. I voted for him because I was so sick of hearing about Trump. That was it. If that was the only thing, was to get people to shut up about Trump, then I did it. It took a lot out of me. It was the last day of early voting. I sat in my car and I argued with myself because I didn't want to. I believe in voting for someone, not against someone. That's what I believe. And I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like anything about him. I didn't like Obama. I don't like Trump. I don't like any of them. And so I sat in my car, and every person I know was like, "You have to do this." And I was like, "Fine, I'm just going to go and do it." And I said, "This will be the one time that I vote against someone and not for someone for the rest of my life. I don't care if Hitler's reanimated corpse comes up and starts running in 2024. I will not be voting for Joe Biden, especially with what he's been doing lately. Bombing Syria, lying to people about $2,000 checks, which suddenly became 1,400, and now everybody pretends that it was always 1,400, which we still haven't got yet. $15 minimum wage that he's just abandoned. It is countless things. I mean, Democrats were pretty much all about Como, and now look at him. Now he's like sexual assault. So much for the Me Too movement. I mean, because they still want him to be president one day. And you know what? He's on the right path to become president with all the shit he's done. So, sorry if my politics shocks a lot of people, but I'm really into it. And I don't have time for bullshit. I just don't. Now, there was one person who was great, who was wonderful, who was a step in the right direction. And this person actually authentically cares about people. And he wanted people to have $15 minimum wage in 2012. He's been for gay rights, he's been for trans rights, he's been for all the things that are needed. But he also knows that this country has a huge issue with its infrastructure and so on and so forth. Anyway, it's Bernie Sanders, and Bernie should be president right now. It was meant to be his. He was cheated twice, and I do believe in the 2016 election with the super delegates, the front-loaded states, the DNC was leaking questions and answers to Hillary Clinton for their debates. She cheated, and it's obvious. Everyone knows it, and if you just oblivious to paying attention to that, then you're basically a Trump supporter because that's what they do with Trump. They just pretend things didn't happen, and they do happen. So they just root for their sports team. So don't be like that. And when Bernie started running in 2020, he was aiming to win. He was going to win. And behind closed doors, President Obama contacted Klobuchar and Buttigieg. It was all out in the open. I mean, he even met with one of them, and they dropped out, endorsed Biden. And then he had one of the reverends in South Carolina or North Carolina endorsed Biden that like 2 days before the election there. And so once Biden had that, and then everybody fell in line, including Elizabeth Warren. And she's not a progressive. And I know a lot of people who liked her primarily because she's a woman, but because they thought she was a progressive. Warren is not a progressive. She's a sellout is what she is. And she took out a super PAC only airing ads against Bernie Sanders on the Super Tuesday. You can look at it's all right there. Like, it's so obvious that this is what they're doing because they would rather have Trump than Bernie Sanders because at least with Trump, they would still remain rich. And Bernie was going to tax the shit out of them. He was going to ruin the DNC's whole platform. And their platform is they want someone that's likable. They want someone that is just good enough to where stupid people fall for their game. But they will still do corrupt shit behind closed doors. That's what they want. That makes them rich. And they're all businessmen. And that's what yeah. So when people think, like people now, I've been calling out Joe Biden every step of the way. And everyone's like, it's too soon. Give him more time. He's going to change things. He's going to just stop nagging on, can we have a moment's peace? And I'm like, no. Because the thing was, we were going to hold his feet to the fire the moment he got elected. So we just had to vote for him. So now we're, getting what we deserve. And he's pretty shit so far. He's been in his first month, it's a disaster. And you have people in this country going bankrupt and their debt. It's madness. So when it comes to people, and this all started the other day, why I wanted to make this, because I had like a threat from someone thinking I was some ditzy liberal Democrat that's just an influencer, so on and so forth, which I'm not. I'm a progressive, and I probably won't support the Democratic Party again, possibly for the rest of my life, unless someone comes along that I really like. And so far, I think they're all just corrupt assholes. And yeah, so that's my video for today. I thought that maybe it would clarify and clear the air and give people some, insight into what I believe politically. And that's about it. Anyway, and then I'll give you guys a little update on my life. I'm actually possibly single again. I have no idea. My boyfriend's going through some stuff. He's got some mental health issues, so on and so forth. And I think we probably won't last much longer. He knows this. We've discussed it. We're not even really talking right now. And I'm okay with it just because I was really doing a lot to try and repair our relationship. And it was getting me nowhere. So, yeah, I've been like working out and living my life. I'm back to 6 days at the gym a week and taking it very seriously. Business is booming. It's really nice weather here. So everybody wants their hair done. And I've been redecorating my house and just trying to freshen up my life. And so, yes, everything is going very well for me. But I wanted to reach out and give people a little, update on things and also go into my politics a bit, So let me know what you guys think and leave your comments and subscribe and all that jazz. And I will try and do more videos. Y'all have a great day. Bye.